Well, it happened. Unfreaking believable. So if you go back to my video on July the 7th, they had cut our hours. Today, I found out through hearsay that they were cutting my whole shift out on Thursday. And they wasn't going to tell us. I said something. So they had a meeting with some of us and explained to us that they were cutting the shift out, and some people were going to stay and some people were going to go. Hopefully, I don't know if I'm safe or not, but we will find out Thursday. So the layoffs has begun. This is crazy. I'm just gonna pray.
It's week 5 of unemployment, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling hopeful, even though the job market is pure crap right now. Anytime I go on LinkedIn and Indeed, I'm seeing the same jobs over and over again. There aren't tons of new positions being uploaded, but I'm still being hopeful. Had a great week last week, lots of conversations with just some of my connections, and I plan to do the same this week. But I just pulled up to the gym, and I did want to say, if you're experiencing like a layoff and you have a lot of downtime, it is important to keep a schedule. Don't sulk all day. Carve out time to apply, work on your resume, interview, but also make sure that you're doing stuff that you like, because you may never get to have this type of time again, and that you're also moving your body. So even if you're not into heavily working out, go out for a walk, go jog, go do something that is moving your body. I promise it will make you feel better. But I'm just pulled up to the gym, and I'm gonna head in and work out, so let's go.
It's a known fact that when you work out, it puts you in a better mood and a better headspace. Even going for a walk, just get out in nature, breathe in some fresh air, in and out, breathe, relax, ease your mind, get your mind off of the stress and strain of not having a job and being in search of one. Make sure you prioritize yourself and your health, physical and mental.
Guys, sad news for Hawaii. Hundreds of Hawaiian Airlines non-union employees to lose their jobs. Let's talk about it. Hawaiian Airlines has notified 252 Hawaii-based employees that they're losing their jobs.
Employees, they are losing their jobs. The airline filed papers with the state labor department today saying those being let go are non-unionized employees whose interim roles with the newly merged Hawaiian and Alaska Airlines will end this fall.
Employees affected work at airports on all 4 islands as well as Hawaiian corporate headquarters. The airline says these employees have been aware of this milestone and have done meaningful work to integrate our airlines in the first year of our combination. The airline is offering employees retention bonuses, severance packages, and job replacement services. I just hope that this didn't come by surprise and they were notified in time so they could come out with another plan or an exit plan, because if this was unexpected, then that is really terrible.
So after 16 years of being with the U.S. federal government, I was laid off on May 2nd. As of this Monday, my office has officially lost all access to government equipment and all the things, so we've been instructed to turn everything in. But I know 16 years sounds like a very long time to be in a career. I started my career when I was 22 years old, and God has elevated me in that career straight to the top in a very short period of time, which I am forever grateful for, to him and to the Black women that opened the doors for me to even walk into this career. So grateful for that. I know and understand that people are expecting me to fall to pieces, to cry, to do all of the things, and I'm not saying that those feelings are not valid. What I am saying is that when you are steadfast and you know that there is a God that has already orchestrated your next move, that has already orchestrated your steps when things like this happen, because we will have trials and tribulations in this lifetime. We were promised that. We were never promised that life would be easy. It's an opportunity for us to build our faith even stronger in him, and that's where I'm at with it. So although this does not feel good, I know that God has already figured out my next steps. So when people ask me, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? I tell them that I don't know. I don't have to know right now. God has already called me to my next. So it's nothing for me to worry about in this moment. He already got me. So I hope that my testimony is able to encourage people who are in the same situations or going through hard times. I've never been in a position where I was losing healthcare before. I've never been in a position where I lost a job and didn't have anything to fall back on. This is my very first time. Sure, I've experienced other traumas. I've lost a daughter. I've lost my ex-fiance before in terms of death. But I never had the death of a job or the death of like healthcare for me and my children or anything like that. But I'm not worried because I know that God already orchestrated my next.
Your lowest points build character, and they also test your faith. How strong will you be? Are you leaning into your own understanding, or are you really, truly faithful and trust the Most High in His timing? In each moment, make sure to always look at the good. There's positivity even in the toughest times.
So yesterday I got laid off. And I took a day to process it. So I think now I'm like ready to talk about it. In the moment that it happened, I felt like I regressed into my inner child. Like I felt my inner child come out. My whole life I was just used to like dealing with financial issues, growing up, not having money, not growing up with money at all, and just like always being stressed about finances. And this was like the first time in my life where I like didn't have to think twice about like getting things if I wanted something. Now it's like I'm reverted back to that inner child where it's like I'm in survival mode and I'm like, oh my God, like I have to hustle, I have to penny pinch, I have to make sure that I am super strict with myself. So the first thing that I did when I shut my laptop after I found out I was laid off was like just look at my husband and cry and say I'm so sorry, because I felt so guilty, like now he has to carry this burden. I literally would dread opening my laptop every day. And coincidentally, right before I got into the meeting where I lost my job, I was so anxious because I was working on stuff for work and it just nothing was working. And my husband saw how stressed and anxious I was. And he just came over and he was like, let me pray for you. And then we prayed and then I went to the call and I got laid off. And it almost felt like God was saying, I release you, like this is not for you. And really do feel like this needed to happen. It almost feels like this like divine intervention where God is telling me like this is not your purpose. Go find your purpose. Go fulfill your dreams. So I'm gonna be creating a lot more content now that I have more time. Obviously I'm gonna still be like applying for work. And I was like rushed with feelings of embarrassment, like oh my gosh, like I'm unemployed. I don't have a job. This is so embarrassing, even though it was like out of my control. It wasn't a performance-based thing or anything, and like I obviously wasn't the only one. Like a bunch of people at my job were affected, and obviously this is like a normal thing that a lot of people have experienced. But I don't know, you don't think it'll happen to you until it does, and then when it does, you're like, oh, what do I do? Like my world is like kind of upside down. I've always felt like I've had potential to do something else, but I've never really had the energy because I had a full-time job, and I never had the energy to like devote 100% to like creating content or pivoting into interior design or fashion, which are the things I actually care about and that I love and that I would love to do for a living. But I never gave myself that opportunity because I was so comfortable. And there's nothing I like more than just control over my circumstances, because as a child I didn't feel like I ever had control, especially in the financial sense. This was like the first time I did, and I just did not want to let that go. Another thing that I was worried about is I am moving to New York City in a month, and we were looking for an apartment. We haven't found an apartment yet, so obviously the budget is changed completely, but I was still looking for an apartment way below our means because I'm just like, I'm not gonna spend thousands and thousands of dollars. And then everybody was trying to convince me like, no, you can afford it, just get something better, just get something better. And it started to go to my head a little bit. Like I was like, yeah, I can afford it, like let me just live it up. Like I never buy any luxury stuff, we don't buy fancy cars, nothing, let's just get a great apartment. And then like I feel like this humbled me, or it brought me back to earth, and brought me back to my roots of like, no, I don't want to spend a ton of money when I don't need to. And yes, I do want to steward my money well. Like I don't want to be impulsive with my money. And yeah, so now I don't really even have a choice. Like I'm gonna have to just find a cheap apartment. Glad that I didn't sign a lease to a really expensive apartment that I wasn't gonna be able to afford. Everything happens for a reason. I'm trusting God this season. Like I'm just releasing all control and just hoping and praying for the best. I'm definitely gonna hustle. I'm gonna give it my all. I know this wasn't where I was meant to be, and I don't think I would have left unless I was literally thrown out. So all that to say, what's meant to be is meant to be.
Being laid off might feel like the end, but it might actually be the beginning to your story. The one that you get to tell, the one that you get to create. Sometimes life clears your path, not to punish you, but to lead you in the right direction that you should be going, to show you what you should be doing and what you were born to do. It's not a setback, It's a step forward, a setup for a new you and new beginnings, new opportunities.
I just got laid off. I guess let's talk about it. Actually doing very okay, surprisingly. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like when you work in tech, you're always like a little bit ready. I am very surprised that I am not that sad. It was a dream job for me and I loved it and honestly thought I was really good at it. I think when it comes down to it, it is just a job. I'm going to miss the people that I worked with so much. Not only did I love my team, that is so much concealer. I worked with so many creators that I am also really gonna miss. My skin has been so bad. More than anything, I'm feeling very uneasy. The job market right now is so scary. I have literally no idea what's next for me, but I'm hopeful and just trying not to freak out yet. I have really missed making content, so prepare to be sick of me. I am gonna try to document my unemployment journey, but we'll see. But seriously, never get too attached to a specific job. I'm excited for what's next, terrified but excited. As much as this was my dream job, I thought the job I had before was also my dream job. So hopefully on to bigger and better things. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. I'm gonna try to do more chatty videos. Time to file for unemployment.
So I just got laid off, which really sucks, especially because I loved the job. I loved what I was doing. I am a mentor and teaching artist for young creatives, and I was so happy with the organization that I was in. And I still love them. They are in a really hard position with these budget cuts, and it just sucks all the way around. Nonetheless, I'm already thinking about what's next. I just got the news today, and I'm actually getting ready to go to work because we're still finishing up summer programming, and then I just won't be able to join them in the fall. And it sucks. It fucking sucks. But you know what? I'm not going to let myself go down the route that feels like everything is falling apart, because I really felt like this summer, like, wow, like everything is good right now. You know, I'm happy. My life is good, and there's always something right around the corner. That's the duality of life. But the difference this time for me is that I trust myself. I've grown so much in between all of the falls I've taken in life, and I trust myself to land on my feet this time. I trust myself to be the artist and mentor and rapper and poet that I know that I was born to be, and to show it to the world. And I know that my talents and my voice are supposed to take me somewhere. And I know that blessings come in abundance, just like God's love, and I believe in that, and I just know whatever is next for me is going to be great. I don't know what that is, and right now fucking sucks. And maybe I'm Delulu, but you know what? I might have to be Delulu right now just because what else am I supposed to do? A little bit about me. I'm born and raised on the west side of Chicago. I'm back here now. I did go to Stanford University, and I graduated in 2021 during the pandemic, which was very difficult. If you are a part of that class, you feel my pain when it comes to like landing a career and just getting into your job. But here we are, and it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't, and we move anyway. If you're going through a hard time similar to what I'm going through, because I feel like so many of us are being affected by the new budgets of the Trump administration, just know that you're not alone. You're here with me if you need a space to talk about that, or to recenter yourself and ground yourself in positivity. Baby, let's do it together. It ain't easy, but I just feel so confident in myself. And so if you want to be a part of the journey that I'm about to embark on, please do. Follow, tap in with me. Let's make a connection, because you won't regret getting to know me and my heart and my aura and my talent, and I'm sure I will feel the same.
It's never too late to reinvent yourself. If you've been laid off recently, it's time for you to ask yourself, what is it that I want to do in life? What legacy do I want to leave behind? What do I want to be known for? How can I impact the world? Your purpose isn't gone. No, that job was not your purpose. Your purpose is right there in front of you. It's waiting for you to pick it up and run with it.
Every time I think I'm not going to get emotional, I end up getting emotional. But basically, this is my second time in the past, I think 3 years, being laid off from, honestly, somewhat of a dream job. And while I'm so incredibly grateful to be given opportunities to work in really cool industries and with really cool people, it is draining. Not only is it really draining working corporate sometimes, but working in a field that tends to have a lot of layoffs, because even when you have a job, it never really feels that secure. And the irony of it is I'm a recruiter, and I have been for the last 7 years. So I literally work in hiring, and I work with people who either lose their jobs or are transitioning jobs all the time. But when it happens to you, you still don't really know what to do. And even when you know that the layoff is not your fault and there's not really much you could have done. Even in this last role, I was literally promoted 3 months ago, and then last Friday was my last day. So even knowing that there's nothing I could have done and getting feedback that there's nothing that I could have done, it's hard because a part of you is really proud of your work and where you've gotten in your career. And so it feels like rejection when it gets taken away from you, and that part really sucks. I did not think this was going to be a come on here and cry video because I've literally never done that on social media, but I was hoping maybe I was going to have something more inspirational to share. Unfortunately, at this time I do not. Just know that it sucks, and yeah, if this has happened to you, I'm in your boat, and it's okay, I think, to be emotional about it. Especially, I mean, I'm American, so especially living in a culture that really prides themselves on their work and their careers, and attaches a lot of value to that. It's okay to be a little sad. And at the same time, historically, people tend to figure things out and move on to bigger and better opportunities. So yeah, I'm just holding on to that rejection is just redirection, even when it doesn't feel like it at the time.
So another fun thing about my layoff story, besides it happening on Valentine's Day, is that my boss let me know that 2 people from my team were going to be laid off, and he let me know who the 2 people were. And the first person, he did the layoff, and then he let us know. The second person, who worked under me, I was her supervisor. The second person, he went to lay her off, and apparently she just had a meltdown, and she said, please don't lay me off. Please don't lay me off. I will take less money and do more work. So it doesn't take a genius to figure out that he decided that he would rather get rid of me at the higher salary, pay her less than she was making before, and then keep her on and have her most likely take over a lot of the stuff that I was doing. And then he probably outsourced some other things I was doing because he does use freelancers. But I just think that that's super shitty. I'm just gonna say it. I'm still a little bit bitter about that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it don't take a rocket scientist to know that they rather pay somebody less to do more. And then they like to delegate and outsource tasks to those overseas or to those, freelancers. B2B services. Somebody that they don't need continuously, that they can hire at their need or at their leisure when they need them. You see what I'm saying? This is the route that business is going. Outsourcing, automating tasks, and reducing their overhead.
So I got laid off about a month ago. I'm 32 years old and honestly at a point in my life where I don't know what I want to do. Unfortunately, the things that I'm passionate about do not really pay the bills. I've kind of fallen into this cycle, just landing in jobs that don't really mean much to me. They're just a job and a way to get by. The last job that I had was actually really, really cool. I worked in live television, something that I never thought that I would do, to be around like-minded, creative people. I absolutely loved it, but unfortunately, they had to lay off 900 people, and I was one of them, and they moved their operations to Pennsylvania. I'm currently in the St. Pete/Tampa area, and there's not a lot going on media-wise here for careers. There's not a lot of opportunities in live TV or film unless you want to work in news, which I do not want to do. Here I am, 32 years old, wondering once again, what the fuck am I doing with my life? What do I want to do? The answer right now is that I have some ideas, but I can't fucking choose. It's debilitating to have all these ideas and ambitions and not be able to act on them because of fear. Can't see that there's any hope for me with choosing a career that fits or choosing something that I can live comfortably. I really don't know what the fuck is gonna happen, and it's really scary. I have a list of ideas of things that I actually want to do, things that I can tolerate, and things that I absolutely don't want to do. I'm trying to get a clearer idea of what the next step is. And I can't help but look back at my time during my 20s and just wish that I made better decisions for myself. And, you know, went to grad school or, you know, just got into a field younger and started building that experience, a field that actually pays well. And I was so lost, and I still am, you know, like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I still don't. And it feels like everybody my age in their 30s is just, they know they're in careers that they're established in and have been established for years. It feels like failure. I hate capitalism, y'all. This video has been super negative, but it's just where I'm at. So if you've made it this long, thanks for hearing me out.
Listen here, family. I just want to give a little more motivation to those that are feeling this way, because at times people will base their worth on their job. You might feel lost after a layoff. You might feel defeated. Your job does not define your worth, with it or without it. If you got it or you don't, that don't define you. This moment is not about failure. You didn't fail. This moment is about self-rediscovery. You're not starting over from scratch. You're starting over with experience. Life lessons. Breathe, reset, and remember, this next chapter could be the one that changes everything. That last chapter is done and over with. You can't keep harping on it. There's no point in trying to think what could have been. Now it's time to focus on this next journey.
I told y'all the other day, I took a $31,000 pay cut in order to get a job, but what does that look like in real life per paycheck? I'm gonna really let y'all in my business, so not too much. Before I tell y'all how much I used to make, a lot and a little is subjective. It depends on your lifestyle, your expectations, your experience, all the things, you know, all from your perspective. So from my perspective, this was normal. I'm not saying it was a lot. I'm not saying it was little. I'm just saying that this was the norm for somebody who had my experience in the military, had a clearance, had been working for a certain amount of time, working in this area. Most of all my friends that were also government and compatible, I think they made more money than me, actually. I'm thinking about it. Anyway, so I am a budget analyst for the government. That's my skill set. And my last job, I made $125. It was remote. And this job, I'm also a budget analyst. I make $94,000 a year. So $31,000 is a lot of a difference in the grand scheme of things. But I was like, what is that going to look like on paycheck? What is that going to look like per month? How much money am I losing? How's it really going to impact me? So I learned a long time ago that money don't make or break you as a person. Shit happens. Life comes in ebbs and flows. Sometimes you make more money. Sometimes you make less money. Everything is not in your control. So I don't let that determine how I feel about myself, how much money I am or not making. I just know that, like, I like to live a certain lifestyle. I like to do certain things. And I'm also funding a tech startup. So I use most of my money to do that. Don't even get me started on why I gotta use my own money. We're not even going down that path, won't piss me off. Anyway, back to what does that look like in application, the pay cut. When I was making $125, my paycheck was about $32.30 I got paid by week every 2 weeks. So that's about $64.60 per month with just my job salary. Now, for context, for my financial situation, I'm also a disabled veteran, so I get disability compensation, which is what I live off of if I don't have a job. It covers all my basic needs. I'm not able to spend. I'm not able to really go anywhere. I can keep up with my basic beauty stuff, get my eyebrows done, get a pedicure, I do my own nails, I do my own lashes, stuff like that. Brings my old total monthly income to about $8,800. So that is how much I used to bring home when I made $125. So how much do I bring home now a month with just my paycheck making $94K? So I haven't got my first paycheck yet, but I put it in the salary calculator that I always use. Based on my state, all the things, I should bring home about $2,500 per paycheck, and I still get paid bi-weekly. So now my total monthly income is about, $5,000 plus $7,400 a month. $31,000 pay cut really boils down to about $1,200 a month. Also, because of my financial situation, I do bring home a little bit more take home most people who make this amount of money because I don't have to use most of the medical benefits from whatever job I'm going to. Before, when I was married, I was on my husband's medical insurance because on his job because he worked for the government. He had good government insurance, baby. Now, because like I said, I'm a disabled veteran, when I got divorced, I transferred all my medical care to the VA. I can go to the VA to get all my medical stuff done for free, except dental. So I know I'm going to have to get dental insurance with my job, but dental insurance not that much. I'm assuming it's going to be like $25 a month. So that means I get to keep a little bit more of my money, maybe somebody else who needs to use their job's benefits. And I'm only at 90% disability, so I have a potential to increase my income without increasing the hours I work. If I could survive off $2,400 a month, I'll be okay with $74. I want to go back up. My goal is to bring in $10,000 a month, but we'll get there. So that's how much I made. Take it or leave it. I don't know. I think it's a lot. You think it's little. Tell me what you think.
See, family, I'm about to recharge. Make sure y'all take some time to recharge too, no matter what. The world's noise might grow loud, but in the stillness, there's space to heal, to find the strength you forgot you had. This pause is not a full stop. It's the quiet before your next rise. Nourish your mind, heart, soul. You might be set back right now, but that's a minor setback for a major comeback. I appreciate y'all, family. Peace. To my Hebrew fam, shalom. I will catch y'all on the next one. And that's to everybody that's going through it. As y'all know, if you're not going through it, then same thing. Just keep your head up. Stay focused. Invest. Knowledge is power. Get as much knowledge as you can at this time. Same rules apply. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.